Alright there, Sir Old Mate Yorkie here, welcoming you back to Campaign Chronicles, where we continue the tale of a young merchant with Wanderlust and a stronger profit motive than a moral compass, Mr. Sigrin of the Hammer of Atta. Sigrin Atta. Starting out in Jorvik, young lass working the docks has made her way with a little camp over to Lothringia for adventure, maybe a home, looking certainly for profit. We have a criminal contract we could do. We have 2 contracts. Bycraft. Trustworthy eavesdroppers and enterprising foreigners. The Count of Vermandois, wishing it to be known that he is inviting useful revelations from across the kingdom and beyond. Travel to other counties, performing intrigue and diplomacy. She doesn't have great intrigue or diplomacy. Intrigue's 12, it's not bad. Diplomacy's also 12. I could do that. At each, or simply bringing burning prestige and opinion. Possible. Definitely possible. Alternatively, hobnob with the ruler. Let it be known that the munificent team extends his generous hospitality, worldly and deserved travelers. As diplomacy, worth a lot, to be honest. Be useful. Alternatively, pleasure. An intrigue challenge. That might be up her alley. All travellers within and subjects of Aachen. Counts and Ehrenfried minds all of the theft or conspiracy to commit theft, and the bounty those suspected of such. Only I may access the treasury. Intrigue scheme. If you succeed, you'll be able to test your intrigue agents and officers. Steal even more gold. I think there's some gold. As it says, there are 2 types of gold. Those which I have, and those which found its way home. First taste of working a criminal contract. Visited the Palace of Aachen. I spot. Move your accursed tent, damn it, Sigbert. I spot, cries Nicholas, disrupting my evening walk. Sigbert seems unmoved, seemingly folding his arms across his chest. It can't be your spot. Got my tent on it now, can it? Nags back. Desperate for a higher authority, Nicholas whirls around me. Sigrid, please, I beg you to discipline this wretch. Side with Nicholas, he gains 20 opinion, Sigurd loses 20. And they've lost opinion of each other. I get a weak hook on Nicholas. Sides with Sigurd to flip it. Pick it out among yourselves, I gain 75 prestige. And they just lose opinion of each other. I mean, really, why would I stoop to deal with this? What of larceny? Preliminary scouting around Aachen. Yes, we might be able to get away with it. It's not the only place that Count Ehrenfried keeps his coin. His holdings are definitely have plenty. Guards don't seem to expect hostility. In other words, risky but doable. Needs a cunning plan. Range. I think I want success more than anything. Now. Oh, travel the wolves. Market town of Aachen was full of wonderful food, so we decided what to eat. We met a talkative butcher named Sigmund. He told us of a scary encounter he had last night. While walking home, carrying a couple of bones and his butcher's knife, he met two wolves who didn't want to kill and eat him. Sorry, who clearly wanted to kill and eat him, I'm sorry. That makes more sense. He threw the whole bones to the wolves to distract them. But the wolves continued to follow him. They were hid in a pile of hay in a field nearby. The wolves waited for him until one grew bored and left and the other fell asleep. He pounced on the sleeping wolf, killing it with his knife. He then saw the other wolf digging a hole further away and realized the sleeping wolf pretended to sleep to lure him so the other could attack him from behind. The butcher then killed the second wolf and escaped. Cunning, but you were even more cunning. I'm not believing a word of it. Easily unimpressed for 10 years. The event is inspired by the tale of the Qing Dynasty, collection of supernatural stories. This tale revolves around a butcher's various attempts to get rid of two wolves who were out to kill him. These days it is even commonly taught in Chinese schools, thanks to its relative simplicity and its clear message about a person's determination and cunning in difficult situations. Yeah, I can see that. I'm going to say, it doesn't sound like anything real. Let's respect cunning. Now, pause it. Or we decide who's what. Thief requires intrigue and prowess. I don't see prowess listed. Go by intrigue. Oh, his prowess is nil. Dominic. Prowess 12. The thug. Requires prowess and intrigue. What are you like, Nicholas? Got great prowess. Scout. Intrigue and martial. Got good martial and moderate intrigue. Go on, sing a bit. Well, obviously. Got okay prowess. Put you on there. Marshall. And I've got two left, don't I? Simon and Bernard. The infiltrator like. Vegan diplomacy. Alright. They're not going to be all that useful. Some of them are good, most of them not so good. I'm also trying to sway Simon, of course. He dislikes me. Corridors of power. The food at Count Ehrenfried of Aachen's residence is in Aachen is excellent. Of course, a far cry from the usual rough and ready fare that I'm used to. I'm very glad you could come to my summons. Answer my summons, Ehrenfried says, gesturing in my direction. I'd like to see if there's anything we can do to help one another. After all, there are certain times that a man of stature can't quite get us down in the muck certain jobs require. No? gold never goes amiss. That's only 14 gold though. But turning this down helped me. Hey. Got a bit of a hook. Wait, hang on. Well, that can end. About time we swayed him because he is also my lover. Now, my visit at Simon. Let's try and sway our quartermaster. I know I've no player air. Don't I? 7. I need to start thinking about that more. We do have a lover, but we haven't done anything, so we might need to start seeing others. Once we've got him on board, we'll start seeing others. Aches and pains. I find myself making such noise when sitting down at the campfire in the evening now. The elders always talk about how that happens when you get older. I'm only 27. No, but she's wear and tear of a life lived rough. I can see the toll it takes on the others too. Irmerix, whatever, wince a lot as he comes down next to me. Hi, Pope. Rest from that, straight up. Soldier on. Tree. Ah, my plus soldier on. Continue to suffer. Ouch. Fortunately. Nice. Nice scheme on that. Don't want to go for it yet though. What's the maximum we can get to? It's Festa. Perhaps it was foolish of me to choose two people who seem to hate each other to act as my aides in this contract. Certainly the constant arguments and petty spite from Sigrin and Ellen seem determined to prove it so. Still, no matter their loathing, they should be able to focus on the job at hand. And some apart. That's an Oxblade. Keep working on him. What's this? Available perks. Gathering provisions. What effective terrain now counts as very effective. Or see how it's done. Take that. CK3. Although against nickname, people around me have called Simon a sobriquet based on his personality and traits. That's Simon the Holy. Gifted him a sobriquet, sorry, a nickname. Learning on the job. Of those I've chosen to involve in this contract, Bernard is probably not the absolute most skilled. Still, he's clearly applying himself, determined not to let my efforts go to waste, with the aim of improving his skill in matters of intrigue. Bettering yourself is costly. That's fine, I want it better. Push to the limit. Big increase by 3, good. Plenty in common. Life in close quarters tends to magnify relationships, good and bad. Fortunately for Bernard and Simon, their common interest in physical restraint and public chastity has proven to be a strong bonding agent. The two laughing and joking together at camp and riding alongside one another on the road, becoming an increasingly common sight. Encourage the friendship. Actually, there's a strong chance they'll just grow to hate me. Good for them. Let them get on with it. Ruin rambling. Scouting out ahead of the camp, I come across a ramshackle collection of traders. They are gathering around some large but old ruined buildings. The remaining ones in good condition have been occupied by the merchants. Their wares are fairly standard, mostly, being on the well-travelled road that would no doubt attract many purchasers. Yet my eye is drawn to inexorably to the grey pock-marked walls of the ruins. So magnificent they are. The merchants occupy merely the outskirts, but its dilapidated heart remains untouched. Oh. Let's see what we find. Nothing. A shame. Learning from the best, two of my agents, Bernard and Elaine, seem to have found common cause in our plan beyond the basic goal. Impressed by his compatriot's skill with shrewdness, cunning, and ruthless double dealing required to heist treasury, Elaine has taken to studying what Bernard does differently to himself, in the hopes of improving his own skill. Harmless enough in theory, but it doesn't help our goal overall. That's fine, let's improve the skill. Elaine is not swayed again. $95. We're about to hit 10 perks. That should give us 100% more or less. Sport of lasting success. Can't and afraid of I can hedge you 100 or lose a 60 opinion of you. Gain the trait gallows bait. You gain 10 trait experience in thief. If you wish, you may try to steal even more gold. You gain gallows bait, you gain 10, no, or you know what, there's plenty more to do. spot of larceny just a little more. We filled our pockets with silver coins stolen straight from Counter Afraid's treasury already. There's plenty more to be found in the castle. Golden candlesticks, elaborate tapestries, finest linen clothing, sacred texts and more. All the many accoutrements of the good count likely takes for granted, but which to a humble wanderer represent profit. All of which all we need to do is ransack the man's hearth and home before we are discovered. David the knives out. Stay low, knives out. Success! Slitting the throat of a late rousing sentry, I catch the body and guide it gently, quietly to the floor, before kicking it into the deepest shadow I can find. Wiping the blood off my blade, I toss over a poor post. Some fancy embroidery here, a little silver there, it all adds up. Death for a good cause. If the rest of the defenders are lucky, they'll be less auspicious. In less auspicious environment. I suspect there's still valuables to be looted down the hall. They know knives out. Another success. Knives out proved to be an excellent precaution, as we encountered far too many troublesome sentries scattered through the place during our advance. Some were here the whole time, others drawn by the noise of our initial entry, but either way, their presence is an indicator that we are beginning to draw notice. Far too much notice. Shaking my head, I focus on what's important for the time being. Still values to be looted down the hall. Still 78%. A success. Seeing the throat of a late rousing, okay. I think we've got enough here. I should have 150 surely. Try once more. Still good. Still good. And there's only 14 left. But enough. Like shadows in the night, we are away. The first roars of alarm and outrage are simply distant echoes by the time they reach our ears. The dull sound of far-off consequences easily ignored. We survey our glorious hall. The collected wealth of Athens stripped bare from its lord's halls and messily bundled into at our foot. Now let's sell the loot. $446. Have a look at our camp. We can't do anything there. Yes. Greater Pavilion. Now. Not suspected yet. Spycraft. Possible. Knob with ruler. Illicit charity. Don't have great learning, do I? Like tax. 29, it's not a lot, it gives a lot of provision. It gives a lot of provisions, so that's nice. Got a lot of provisions. And payment. Oh, what's this one? High corruption. Land offers rampant bandits, suffers from rampant bandits, various officials, and panic peasants. Anyone willing to keep all of them in line will be rewarded. 46. Oh, 46 for exceptional. Get a couple of new patrons. Some provisions. How would all that use? Try the spycraft. Proactive reconnaissance. Prince Pepin's call for educated reports on the happenings going on around his capital attract all sorts of Eldons eager to earn an easy coin from filtered rumour or obvious fabrication. Fortunately for him, my band and I, are the same run-of-the-mill from Weasel, and can trade in more interesting stories of neighbouring lands. So how useful they'll be is up to count. First though, we'll need to discreetly visit a few places that Papam is interested in knowing more about. Travelers want this. Pounding hooves. Ugh, my head, moans Bernard, as he rides alongside me. I raise an eyebrow in silent inquiry at the man's exclamation. In response, Bernard simply slumps down across the horse, whimpering and touching his temples. Clearly someone has had a good night last night. Let's slow down for him. Proactive reconnaissance vessel. Sadly, there is little talk of anything of consequence in vessel at present. Oh, there's the usual slew of petty dramas about commoners, but nothing especially salacious or interesting. Problem: it makes strangers turning up and asking questions an unusual occurrence. Still, we have to scrounge whatever information we can from these from town. Get to the town. Time to work on my charms. Intelligence gathered. Travel Wayward Shrine. Roy is home to a famous Wayward Shrine. Wayside Shrine, sorry. That I happen to be passing by today. Locals tell us it isn't uncommon for travellers to spend even a few days praying there. It is said that doing so will ensure safe passage for the journey. I am unsure how helpful praying at this site would be, but I should at least pay my respects. Prepare and move on. 10 days. Say a quick prayer and move. Proactive reconnaissance, Liège. Sadly, there's little talk of anything of Liège. Here to the Work on charm. Plus one gathered. A knight errant. It is known that people of Corvan seem to profess a special devotion towards their knights and their legends. My lady, the knight says, bowing his head. It is most fortunate that you and I came to meet at this crossroads, for I am in search of a marvellous fountain, which water is said to cure all diseases. If you were to help me in my quest, I shall pay homage to you. Nicholas is quickly to interrupt. Well, mistress, I know this knight. It's Geoffrey. Well, nice armour there. Head check at the coin. Bit of money won't hurt. Proactive reconnaissance ream. Sadly, okay again, and work on charms, I think. Only 46. Right here to the count. Prince Pampan's agents meet in Ream, eager to take our report to their lord. It's not much. With our gathered rumours and hearsay being so sparse, it's comparatively little for Papan's spymaster to work with. Little but not quite nothing. A short grumbled conversation later, the Count spies bring forth our agreed pay. Discreetly, of course. Unfortunate flower. How are we doing? Not quite good. While taking a walk outside, I found a very beautiful flower. However, I went over to take a closer look at it, potentially to pick it up and keep it. I misstepped and accidentally stepped on it. Oh well, that happened. You men at arms regiment. They do cost provision. However, I can afford some. I can also afford my own men at arms regiment. But if I can get one from you, why not? Armored footmen. Boundary dispute. Not much. What brings more profit? That doesn't. That has. That. Oh. Reasonable profit. With our new men at arms, take this company. Be on the lookout for renegades, reprobates haunting the back road. Your sword arm is strong and your eye true. Prince Bishop Francon promises generous rewards. Bring me his head. Spandev. Prince Bishop Francon wrinkled his nose gracefully. Alcont has been harassing my private estates. They burn, kill, and steal with near impunity, slipping away before my retainers can clap them in irons they so richly deserve. I nod. The gang must be slippery to warrant such private bounty. Well, leader is Baruch. Bring me his head before he can slip away for good. Go on. Out of wedlock. I've agonised over it, and the signs are clear. I am with child. My lover Simon is without doubt the father, but without the bonds of marriage. What will people say of my child? They can say anything they want to a knife. Let everyone know that Simon must know, but no one else. I cannot tell anyone. I must have a wise woman prepared for it. No! Lost a level of devotion. Religion isn't her thing, really. Means to an end. I sit by my pavilion, letting the sounds and smells of the camp wash over me. It's different from a life within safe walls of the palace, so very different. Freedom is easy to enjoy, no obligations, no counsellors yapping, no dignitary. Yet the freedoms are dearly purchased. The constant scraping for survival wears thin. Increasingly every night, I yearn for a proper bed. Keep my options open. Beyond all doubt, the child I'm bearing may be illegitimate, but it will grow up knowing who its father is, no matter what Simon himself might want. Do what is best for my child. Simon, if he objects, is disposable. Bring me his head. We first met Baruch in the rolling plains of Liège, the hammer of Atta Haven, heading out toward and around his own little band of ne'er-do-wells, all of us tensed and ready for bloodshed. Sniffling ignorant Axbrook. Out here to do Prince Bishop Frank's will, are you? Come then, hound. Face me and prove yourself nothing more than a yapping lapdog. Brooks' group is clearly outnumbered, but they seem resolute nonetheless, willing to defend their leader and die in the attempt. He has a 23% chance of escape. Signal an ambush. Only a 6% chance of escape. Troops overwhelm him. Don't have enough men at arms. Only 1%. An ambush. Sound strategy wins through. Bring me his head. We catch up with Baruch, lush farmlands of Cologne. The hammer of Atta Haven led out toward and around his own little band, ne'er-do-wells. All of us tensed and ready for bloodshed. Back again so soon, Sigrid. After last time I thought you'd learnt your lesson, but it seems we'll have to teach you that the hard way. Moment balances on knife edge. If I don't act, someone else will, and everything will slip through beyond my control. Has a chance of escape. You can ambush, which only gives 6% chance of escape. I could recruit him, no. Sound strategy wins through. We catch up with him on the rolling plains of Aachen, the hammer of Atta Haven's cape. Failure, damn it! Team failed. With that, Baruch finally managed to shake our pursuit. Damn, that's human of a man. Apparently I'm a fugitive now. Then it's time to move, isn't it? I don't care that he's a fornicator. He's a fornicator with me. And we're pregnant. Strike out for distant Italy. So we head east. Let's head to Bavaria. Why is there only one in the entourage? Scout for talent. Start moving camp. Lay of the land. None in my camp are intimately familiar with the terrain in mind, and yet such lands are not to be trifled with. It is for this reason that I find myself standing in front of the local guide, asking for services to be rendered. No joke out there, she offers, drawing air through the gritted teeth, a theatrically wicked gesture. You'll need either these maps or my services. I can tell you that for free. He's right, but there's something about her demeanor that makes me hesitate. Is her about camp? Caravan master, that would be good. Plenty of money. For help. The gains are all. But she's now my caravan master. Visit capital of Kingdom of Bavaria. Gained 150 diplomacy lifestyle. Hired as mercenaries to the fair Mr. Sigrin, the Hammer of Atta. Be an honor if you would join my side in my wars. I don't see that happening anytime soon. I'm curious about Chieftain Erica Hardland's offer and would be honoured to stand alongside his bannermen. I don't want to join at all. Thank you very much. With us at the moment. Simon? Wait. Shouldn't that be the last? Ilsa? He's good. So we've got Simon, Ilsa, Igobert, Assen, Ellen, Bernard. Average on storage. minus 17. There we are. We're already here. Why would I do that? Not yet. 3 months left. 4 contracts. Settle boundary dispute. 35. 52 or 62. Conduct census. We'll take that. That's right, my alley. Making a record. It is perhaps a tad unorthodox to hire a wanderer and her band to conduct the census, but sometimes need must as he may drives. I suppose, and I can hardly complain about getting the work. The coin spends just as well, and whatever reason Archbishop Bluthbert has for distrusting his clerks clearly doesn't extend to us. Always. Won't be missed. As we continue through Kessel, my eye catches an elaborately decorated tomb. Amidst a network of common graves, the tomb appears to be cracked open. Just within its mouth I see a glimmer of some unknown treasure. I'm sure no one would notice if we took it. But my party appear to be around. Party is caught. Oh dear. Count Henry, 25 in for 20 years. And rightfully, oh dear. Travelling traders. As I stroll around the markets of Hochberg, a loud ruckus comes from just a couple of stalls down from me. It's a furious woman, animated and waving her hands. Sigrin, Doge Orso will have your head for this, yells at another merchant. Looks, if anything, angrier. I would love to see him tried. Stallone dismisses the merchant with a wave of his hand, angrily turning to her bodyguards. Merchant clearly intends to get a deal one way or another. Let's make some coins. Either pay 15 or I gain 50. Okay, we got 50. Making a record, Erbach. People of Erbach react to our arrival with barely restrained hostility. It's clear that they consider the updating of Archbishop Bluthbert's records to be a sure sign of something poor on the horizon, be it conflict or a poll tax, and our inquiries are frequently rebuffed. Alright, let's get this done. Comprehensive survey. Travel, stealing wooden planks. Parts of the road in Risselheim are covered with wooden planks, as is common in some places to make travel easier. However, it should be no surprise that this wood is oftentimes subject to theft, particularly in more rural areas. As it so happens, we encountered a party of ruffians trying to take these wooden planks. They tried to make off with the wood as soon as they approached. Martial intrigue and prowess. 32% failed to catch them. Let's get after them. Failed. Alright. Making a record mends. That means the inhabitants greet us with cheers, baskets of food, and all the jubilee of a family welcoming their relatives back from some distant war. It would seem that in these lands the name Archbishop Bluthbert is a fable among its subjects, enough so that any message from their beloved Prince Bishop cause for celebration. Needless to say, they're eager to provide our mission with whatever we need. Do it. Making a record sign. The people of Sign react to our arrival with barely restrained hostility. Again, is it? Get it done. Exceptional success. Scheme successful. A representative of Archbishop Luthbert meets us in Sign. When we are finished making our fixed chief of gathering notes. Interest. Stupendous work, Mr. Sigrid. Even a cursory glance shows great care and attention to detail. The Prince Bishop will be elated. Graciously, I incline my head slightly for a compliment. And the servant motions for us for our rewards we brought out. Atta Haven received their due. A large chest of silver. Not really asking for now. Bavaria, huh? Right. Come on, let's go to Bohemia. Cross Nordgard. And since we always seem to be fugitive, embrace that. Now, what about the camp? Oh, there's still days left there. Okay. What that? Also, what about the men at arms? Now, where was I? Danger! Mountains out of molehills. The road has gotten incredibly hilly the last few hours, and everyone is beginning to weary. With no end to the hills in sight, my caravan master, Ilsa, approaches me and says, "My lady, our mouths cannot carry on like this for much longer. Or animals need break, or I fear... or mounts, sorry. They'll collapse, or stop to rest." Right, right. Heard of you. Following a sentry, I enter a dimly lit tent next to the supply tent, where a bedraggled trio of locals await me. They look nervous, as though being here is a risk. One of them stands before me, giving me a truly awful bow. "Seems your ladyship, name's Walter." Be glad he's Bernard, and brother is Peter. We're here to enlist. Oh, we'll take you. That should give us full nights. Oh, how good they are. Helen's good, Nicholas, Bernard. Simon's not good, that Bernard's not good, Peter's not good. fault as moderate. I wonder when we give birth. Pregnant. Say when it expires or when we give birth. I didn't look at when we actually got pregnant. This morning we asked for our directions towards the next destination from one of the locals passing by on the road to home. The local told us that the route we were about to take was not actually the fastest way through the area, and that there was a shortcut we could take. Thankfully the local was entirely correct, and we understood the directions given to us. We saved a good amount of travelling time. Yes. Press down. Danger, a bad crossing. Burned crops, barren fields, oils for. Our pace gets faster after we see the first corpses. The only possible path passes by an army camp. I look behind us. There's no other way. I nod at my guards and they look back, tightening grip on their swords. An army commander stands in the entrance of the camp. Allies to the enemy, yeah? Asks, scratching his nose. Care to spare a prisoner? Three points of Bernard. Look at our banners. We're not the enemy. Doesn't listen. Bernard. A blessing of ignorance. My newborn son sleeps so sweetly, blessedly unaware of the curse which will follow him for the rest of his life. Be a bastard is not an easy thing in the world, nor is it to be the mother of one. Even as my babe slumbers, I am kept awake by the choice I must make. Prayer or Haralda. No. But I like it. Legitimizing with my own. And I have an heir. I overhear one of my servants muttering, "Oh dear, was it 2 or 3?" When I asked her what she was talking about, she tells me she forgot how much medicine she needs to take before her recent stomach pains. No idea myself. Cover a secret, hired muscle, settle boundary dispute. Criminal contracts. Bug wealthy citizen. Good citizens of St. Pulton, be warned that we are experiencing a plague of petty theft. Take a firm club when you walk the streets, and stay indoors after dark. Prince Bishop will deal with these reprobates. No major difference except who we aim. Aim at. Guards, medical equipment. Cultural ambassador. Not really. We'll just go without. A holy tree. I am told that nature is venerated here to Melnik as an extension of the will of the gods. We watched as the locals adorn an old tree in fine materials and jewellery, as if they were counting it. Many in my entourage are satisfied to watch from a distance, but I feel compelled to do something more. 10% chance of gaining wise woman. Have the tree burn or join in. Nothing much happened. Back alley robbery. The notices that Count Slowbore had hung around are all truer than expected. Somebody seems to be experiencing a barrage of petty crime. Even just making our way into the city, we are able to count a dozen pickpocketings and one outright mugging. Far too much work for the beleaguered households of counts to deal with. An absolutely perfect environment, but it's surprising freebooters like ourselves to make a little coin. Best chance. The thug needs prowess and intrigue. Comrade. Prowess is dull. Bernard. Prowess is green. What? Prowess is all green. Outcast. Intrigue and diplomacy. Ultimate giant. Bad. Intrigue and prowess. Guessing about the lane. Get up to 8%. And the lookout needs intrigue and martial. Listen, petulant. Alright, we'll keep it as it is. My little son. Nothing special about him yet. He has joined prowess. Back out of alley robbery, Hennick. Mixed pickings have plagued our day's work. With ample purses taken, but few of them particularly fat. Although from the looks of this man, that may be about to change. Looks like Hennick, courtier of Count Slaybo. For all the good that does him here. And now, unknowingly surrounded by the hammer of Atta Haven. Although, all I need to do is command, and the poor fool will learn the meaning of regret. Possible gain there, 57%. Less. 64% for having Nicholas do it. Nicholas triumphs. Battle starts holding a grudge. Okay. Good perk available. Also Fire and Friends. Each night over the bonfire becomes the hub of the camp's social activity. People coalescing around my particular circle to wag tongues, trade friendly barbs. Tonight is no exception. Look, all I'm saying, Charles Walter, the giggling of several of the followers, is that poor Peter can't be blamed for his poor marching pace. Must be hard with that stick rammed straight up his arse. A chorus of inebriated guffaws breaks out from the easily pleased onlookers. The weight all seems to be wearing on Peter. That would work, joining the ribbing of Peter, turning on Walter, that works a lot less. Tell a joke of your own. Life of the party. Now, cutting costs. 9. Oh, decision. Gather provision. Bounty of Letomaris. Stepping outside my camp, I survey the surrounding farmlands. Looking for any sign of game or fodder. This may offer more in the clemency, but winter's bitter cold hardens the mud and envelops the fields in frost. Not find much here. Try some snares. Alright, that's 300, that's fine. Any other useful decisions? Then 25 billion, so he's going up. Without friends or protection, I am interrupted from my stroll near my pavilion by the approach of a nervous stranger, a man who introduced himself as Rava, and is clearly as alien to some race as I. Lady, you and I both know these lands have no truck with those who worship differently from the lords and ladies. Momentarily pauses, steeling himself for a clearly expected rejection. I understand if you already know too many people to care for, but you'll have me. I'll probably serve you till the end of my days. Be like learning. Take it. Let me just check. Back alley robbery. Day's labour has already been quite profitable. with several good citizens kindly donating their silver to Bagor. This man may be the richest yet. I recognise him as, well, a local magnate of some small wealth and perfectly suitable quarry. It's perhaps not the richest on offer, though almost imperceptible. I hear the sound of well-oiled daggers being unsheathed all around the little alley. Follow him. None the wiser. 50, and he's got a grudge against us. Nuts. I've recently picked up the habit of having a bowl of nuts on hand to eat as a snack. It's a simple but delicious way to prevent hunger. It seems to help me maintain my energy for the day. As such, it's helped me feel more productive and healthy. Oh. A follower's heart. Boss! Sigrin, my leader. I have met the most ravishing woman here in Little Maurice. My champion Bernard the Heathen stumbles in as he addresses me. Our family will not let us marry without my paying a sizable dowry. Please help me. 37? I have a ton of money. For that, I don't... Oh, 57, sorry. I don't mind too much. She's willing to run away with you. Not impressed. There you go. And the camp expands. Unfamiliar rations. The culture in Little Maurice is unfamiliar, and some of their customs are equally alien. This is proven especially true when Vendriska, acting as our cook, beckons me over to look at the steaming pot. It's a local recipe she begins. Supposedly authentically Czech. I was assured so by passing merchant. Look at the summons with suspicion. Is that stewed badger? The turnips? Let's blend it with some herbs and Norse culture. What does that get to 10? 10 advantages. Arson Suede. Akali robbery, Sicily. And as afternoon trickles into evening, I stifle yawn. I may pay well, but so much of it involves simply waiting. Although, hold on now, this woman looks promising. I recognise her Cecilia, a local magnate of some small wealth, and perfectly suitable quarry, if perhaps not the richest on offer. Me too is give the command. Knives out. Knives out, let's get them. Woman, please! Alright. You got away then. Rita! Rita, local magnet. Nicholas? Like what for? Nicholas triumphs. A devoted follower. A moment, my boss, rather stops me as I survey the encampment. He is still breathing heavily when he addresses me, smiling warmly. Do not think that your efforts go unnoticed. I admire you. Children pretend to be like you when you play, and the whole camp seems to think you the greatest alive. I wish to help you in the same way as you help us. I know of your current efforts. I believe I would be a worthy addition. Okay. I guess. Great display of loyalty. Execute with confidence. Success! 107 gold. A long path ahead of us. Thanks to Count Slaybor's utter inability to enforce order on the streets of his own capital, the Hammer of Attahaven are able to shake down more of the collective spirit of Litamaris for everything they've got. Not an honourable way to earn a living, perhaps, but profitable extremely. Still, the first lesson an aspiring criminal learns is when to quit. Made coin, 19 to be left. Fugitive. Yeah. Then we shall. Let's go to Moravia. The language barrier. How have I done, by the way? 1 year old. It seems that our caravan has become a little lost in the foreign lands. Ilsa has been trailing us around Geneva for hours. She has followed her pride and asked for directions. She appears to be an expert Czechoslovakian speaker. You try. Successfully interpreted the instructions. We head towards the Bionis. We stop in our tracks for a short break. Many are circled around the campfire, keeping warm and sharing stories. My son is off in the distance. It looks like he's growing old. Perhaps looking for some game. He reaches into the grass, but lets out a squeal. He has been bitten by a viper. Eventually, the serpent released its fangs from his flesh. The other venom is taking its toll. Simon's a skilled healer. Do you work, Simon? Remedy successful. Pinky shoes. Early evening is a time of intense activity. Camp. People and supplies tossed this way and that, as our portable home is set down once more. Habitually, it's also a time when I walk to clear my head and escape the noise of the earth for a time. As I crest a small hill, I see the last pinkish rays of the dying sun bathe the hills below, creating dozens of little pockets of shadow, pockmarked quill of rose, studs, and dark valleys. Sight, perhaps, one worth sharing. Rest a while and watch. Hired as mercenaries. Nitra. on his abduct foe, log talismans, the learning scheme, telling. Intrigue. Contract requires you to complete a prowess scheme. Throughout the scheme, you will also be given special events. Quest. Now, that was his thing is good. Citizens of this was. Be warned that we are experiencing a plague of petty theft. Yes, you are. You're about to. Before I go, let me check. Average. By the best we have. Good. Storage. Burner to heather. Bodyguard. Turmeric. Everyone is. Travel, the liar. When we set up camp for the night. Product. Bad is it? Very tiny writing. Ned Moravisi. It so happened that the caravan of merchants was camping pretty close to it. They were travelling the opposite direction, and we exchanged some information about conditions on the road for our respective journeys. Anyhow, merchants told me they met the most odd fellow several days ago, who went by the name of the Liar. He told them somewhat nonsensical advice that somehow also made sense. They're not sure what to make of him, but the veteran merchants say, by far the oddest fellow we've ever met. Sounds like an odd fellow. Back alley robbery. Get on with the task. Remember, we're here to earn things. Try this. Look outcast footpad. Dabbler, look out. Bug, needs. Prowess and interest. Yes. Outcast needs intrigue and diplomacy. 12 and 5. 15 and 9 for Walls of the Giant. 0. 11 and footpad. League and prowess. Dabbler. Diplomacy and intrigue. A lookout. Intrigue and martial. Get you. Oh. I'll just go with this then. Akali Robbery, Prisbor. As afternoon trickled into evening, I stifle a yawn. That may well be. Okay, what do we have here? Knives out. Shadow him, either. Intimidate Prisbor, 50 gold. Boulder Strings, my pet. Sam knows a lot about how to navigate the many relationships of our camp. He suggests that he could put his expertise to good use by diplomatic overtures towards our son. Great deal. Great idea. Realm. I have plenty of money. Rather less now, of course. Right, that's okay. Keep working on him. Travails of a Cook. I don't think we're being easy. Oh yes, that's this one again. Not in the budget. Now, back alley robbery. Knives out. 39, 46. Knives out. Intimidated him. 50 gold. That's holding a fine. This one, knives out for 60. Overshadow him. Anyone, Peter? Good job. Failed me, Peter. Good afternoon trickles into evening. I stifle a yawn. I recognise Peter, local magnet. Knives out 64, shadow 50. Intimidated him. He hates it. As I turn in for the night, I hear some commotion coming from around my guard. I can scarcely believe my eyes as I behold Milena, a member of Mitowit's own court, in the source as a source of the disturbance. She argues for my bodyguard. Calls out to me from the far end. Please hear me out, lady. Life at court is such a bore. I cannot stomach another day of it. I wish to join you on the endless road. Fine. Yeah, we're not doing that. I'll take you on. You'll have to work to impress. I think is the most we can get, so we're going to go for more advantages. That's still only 77. PSA. The door to my tent opens and Milena stands right in front of me. With a subtle bow, she starts, I apologize for interrupting you, boss. But I bring news that may be of your interest. I was resting at the King's Arms, drinking with a group that revealed themselves servants of King Botislav. They had no qualms about talking about their liege. What of him? I asked, and managed to learn of his secret to your benefit. I don't mind you as in the tavern. Tell me at once. He's a murderer. Professional recruitment. A brewing troublemaker. Well, I have come to expect mischief from my son and heir, Ingvar. His creativity keeps me on my toes. But it's not a prank. When it is not a prank, it is a brawl. Disgruntled shooter, or grazed knees from an adventure gone wrong. Little more with him. So, he's rowdy. One martial and intrigue. Martial to do, intrigue to do. Not swayed. Still got a lot of money. I could raise the supply tent all the way to 6. Or I could raise a barber tent. 324. To increase disease resistance. Major resistance to plagues. Hang on. Oh, I only raised it to 3. Okay. Let's get the barber tent up. Take it on now. Over every angle. Success. 114. 60 opinion. 10 trade experience in Marauder. Fortified knowledge. The high altitude, the brisk air of Preroi has very refreshing quality as we travelers traverse the local hill fort. The soldiers in the valley below appear to be practicing some rare type of training technique I haven't seen before. Challenge? Terrain expert. Danger, tempting fruit. Fruit. Our road takes us through parts of Prerov. Where I scan for any dangers ahead, a rustling branch grabs my attention. Could it be wild animals? As I brace myself for impact. Bernard jumps out of a bush instead, holding a plant. Scared me, Bernard. Don't be. Let me see what you have there. Some kind of fruit, I exclaim. Yes, it looks and smells so delicious. I wonder if what it tastes like. Let's see, we can... Hold on, what if it's poisonous? Rash appears where the plant touched. Gain unknown plant rash for 5 years. Burner gains unknown plant rash for 5 years. It's a harmless plant after all. And 100 lifespan. Alternatively, let him meet it. Unknown plant sickness for 5 years. 100 learning. You get... Yeah, let's do that. Cause a stomachache. Oh dear. Let's see. You just check that. As we pass through the market in Benson, we hear a loud yell and stumble into an ongoing tussle between two men, tightly observed by a group of people. The crowd cheers profusely as one of them is swept off his feet, face planted solemnly in the dirt. Thus concludes the match. Who's next? Come on, Ellen, you can do it. Lost the duel, oh dear. Danger, serpent. As we head towards Bernice, we stop in our tracks for a short break. Many are circled around a campfire, keeping warm and sharing stories. Nicholas is off in the distance, perhaps looking for some game. He searches in the grass, lets out a squeal immediately after. He's been bitten by a viper. Did he get bit before? It might be someone else. I'm as a skilled healer. Gain successful. New acquisitions. During the daily management of my camp, I've learned of several different opportunities I can pursue. Each opportunity has a potential, but realistically, I can only pursue one of them. During those trade deals, my treasury. Times of passion, rounding a little cluster of tents. I leave my pavilion. I come across a gaggle of followers, having dinner around a small hearth. Curiously, both Bedriska and Walter are among them, neither of whom really enjoy one another's company. Or I have time to ponder such a strange quirk of seating. Walter mutters something inaudible, only for the whisper to send Bedriska into her. Bean. Why not settle it with it? With Riska wins. Hold on. And so we are back at camp, I believe. Yes. And so we end today's. We'll be back next time for some more criminality.